We are at Reilly Daylily Gardens, Enterprise, Florida, and this is the garden of Phil and Pina Reilly. And we are going to look at some of Phil's beautiful creations. Hybridizer here at Reilly Daylily Gardens, and Phil's gonna provide some commentary and tell us a bit about what's going on here at Reilly Gardens. Phil, what are we looking at?
Well, this is a seedling of mine which is being held for future intro. It is 3 siblings from one of my crosses out of Lord of the Storm by another seedling of mine, and then I put Belicera onto 3 sibs, and the 3 keepers that I did keep. What you're looking at is the first of the 3, which have a nice rich purple color, and a color I like very much. You can see the influence of Belicera towards the eye zone, the deep green throat. It has a nice very nice white edge around the whole thing. The tallest one of the 3 is the one you're looking at.
Okay, so this is the second one now.
This is the second one.
We just looked at.
Is a little bit darker, has a whiter edge, and the third one is a little bit shorter. Maybe the scapes are 30 inches high as opposed to 36 or 38, and this too is a lovely color. It has a little more gold and silver in it along the edging, but they're all very well branched, something I really am fond of looking for in the garden, and we're happy with these 3. So I'll line these out and we'll make decisions later on. This is another selection. I was absolutely enchanted by a seedling, or a release by Larry Grace, who put out a plant called Onto Something. If you'll recall, it was somewhat low, but I had a seedling that I thought had a lot of potential, which I bred it to. This is the result. It's 36 inches high. It is branched like the proverbial tree. It's a pinky lilac color with a lovely hint of a blue eye, and I am using this heavily in hybridizing around the garden. It's not quite open yet because it's still early in the morning, and it's a chilly morning here in Florida. I know you find that difficult to believe, but we have it. We have chilly mornings, so it's a great morning to hybridize. This will probably become a future release. Now, this is a seedling, and let me preface all of that by telling you how important it is to find converted material. It was a small, its pod parent was a very small, lovely pink with a red eye. And onto that I put Tet Edna Shaw. Edna Shaw was a Wilson diploid that gives huge flowers. And this is a much larger flower than its pod parent. And it's a striking one. It's being considered for introduction, and this is something you might see on one of my future websites. It's out of Tet Edna Shaw.
I'm trying to go like this.
This is a brand new seedling that opened for the first time yesterday morning, and it's out of that big seedling from Tet Edna Shaw that you saw earlier. I have a bloom here that's even larger. It's 6.5 inches. I hope it's fertile, but it has a lovely feel about it. It's got great branching, and I think you're going to see this in the future someday as a release. But I can't speak highly enough of using converted material from diploid to tetraploid. you will unlock doors you never imagined. This morning, this got Ted Connie Burton. This is a seedling which I'm holding for future introduction. It is a big, wide-petaled, rich red, very deep red. And it comes from two of Moldavon's seedlings, which intros that I crossed together. I got the best of those and then put one of Guy Pearce's older, large purple flowers onto it. The only thing that really makes me anxious is the fact that it's difficult to set a seed on this one. As pretty as it is, the pollen is wonderful, but I can't set a seed on it. I can't turn it into a mummy plant. But it is pretty. And this one just has a garden name. It's called Big Red. This is another seedling that we're trying to bring up to date. It opened last year for the first time. It's quite fertile. It will be named Heather Davis in honor of a very good friend of ours. We are putting converted pollen on every single thing that opens up. I've got Ted Grace Pierce, Ted Connie Burton on this one. So we're looking for some super-sized seedlings out of this one. Now let me show you several things which we are working towards in the blue eyes area. These are all seedlings, the next one's through, where I'm looking for deep blue saturated eye zones. This will be the first of several. We're holding all of these for review, and we'll pick out some of the best as futures. But right now they are nothing more than seedlings in a seedling patch with blue eye zones. But we do have some pretty ones. This is one of them. This is another little blue-eyed seedling. This one has great branching, a subtle blue eye, a little bit too pink and too much lavender without the blue, but it's under review. We'll use it as a parent and see what else we can find out of that kind of a cross. This is perhaps one of the best of the blue-eyed group that we've been working with. And this one now is being used heavily with bluegrass music. Bluegrass music was introduced by Frank Smith last year or the year before. And we're using the pollen in quite a few places. We see big things for this one in the future. And it's fertile. Earlier we spoke about Onto Something by Larry Grace. This particular daylily comes using Onto Something as a pod parent, and the blue is unmistakable in this one. I crossed it with one of my white seedlings because I do a lot of crossing with blue-eyed things onto white, and I was very happy to see this one emerge. This blue is really a denim blue. It is a future release. It's got great branching. It is fertile. We're also crossing Ted Grace Pierce onto that for larger flowers. And we're using Ted Connie Burton, which I'm afraid may destroy the blue, but will give me big, big round flowers. Here's another selection. It's a seedling. It has a very complex background, but the blue is unmistakable in this one too. It's developing a little blue edging around and a little trace of gold, and we're trying to enhance all of the characteristics here that you see and make it even bluer, more intensely bluer, more gold edging, more blue edging. This one's getting pollen from several different sources to try to enhance that look.